sometimes he just has phenomenal games like this one. And if he can keep this up, he can actually start being in contention for it, in my opinion.
And I think a big part of it, I know I talk a lot about DJ Pernicus, but I think a big part of it is having that sort of veteran leadership of Pernicus. He's been around for a long time, not just in the Smite scene, but also in the Counter-Strike scene, believe it or not, years and years ago. So being a high-end competitive player is no stranger to him. Being on the big stage is great. So I think being surrounded by players like DJ Pernicus and the best that have seen and done actual success bodes very, very well for players like Meerkat and Aurora, who have the raw talent, along with Kabam, who have the raw talent, but not necessarily the experience. The veteran leadership of these two sort of will rub off on the squad, and we'll see more games like we just saw.
Picks and bans for Game 2, though. Once again, Cognitive Gaming first pick. So far, we've seen a repeat. Freya banned out Ao Kwong in response from Team SoloMid. Likely, Cog, in my opinion, should run this back, at least in the banning phase. Take out the ROM. Now, I don't think we're going to find Snoopy on a Kali for Game 2. But at least take away the god that he's had so much success with the past couple months.
Exactly. There's absolutely no reason not to, even if it's just, an extended fluke. What do you call that? A hot streak? Even if it's just a hot streak, there's no reason to allow this to continue. Stop him, freeze him out. I don't want to see any of that if I'm on an opposing team. So Cognitive does the smart thing and bans out Rom. Giannis going to be banned out by TSM. Don't want that slippery mid laner in the best's hands. Bellona, another pick for Cognitive.
Running it back so far, Cog. They're going to draft that Bellona. Team SoloMid looking in response last time. I believe it was the Thor and the Geb. I believe that was first pick.
Yeah,
they could elect to run it back and just pick a different hunter. I think their team comp was fine. It's actually going to be the Agni drafted first, and I think that's more to take away from the best in the sense that since they banned out his Giannis, they feel like Agni would be the next pick. Likely that we'll see an Isis picked up for Cognitive Gaming in this next phase. TSM, they're going to be looking for Athena over Geb this time, though, which elects me to believe that Cog's going to be looking for Geb and Isis here.
Taking a look, picking. Keep in mind that global presence that Athena does bring to Team SoloMid.
Okay, I forgot Serqet.
Yes.
I don't know how I forgot about Serqet, but there's also Serqet, which DJ Pernicus has shown to be one of his best gods.
Yeah, there's no reason not to play Serqet, because one of the things that I like about Serqet that fits DJ Pernicus' style as well as weakens as the Ares is locked in is the fact that while still being a high damage assassin, she's able to provide sort of control with Last Breath and the Cobra's Kiss. So DJ and DJ really likes to play these Kabrakins, these Thor-type characters. Serqet can do both sides of the coin.
So TSM,
they liked it.
They liked the Kali. They just felt like Giannis was the problem. This could also be Gars, though, right?
Exactly.
This is also, right, Gar's main, I'd say, 4 to 5 guides. Thor, Fenrir, Kali. And then there's one more that I forgot. Bats, that's the other one. I'd say those are his 4 gods. And also Serqet once in a while now in this fall split. Jablonke going to be banned out by Team SoloMid. Felt that Darkest of Nights was a little bit too powerful in those re-engages.
And Hades going to be banned out by Cognitive Gaming. They don't want to see any of that on Team SoloMid. As I said, Divios, virtually undefeated. Well, actually, undefeated. 8 for 8. So no Hades.
So that is going to be Gars playing Kali. Medusa locked in for Snoopy in that dual lane. They have the lane combo. They have the Athena. They have the Medusa. Athena saying, "Look here," Medusa screaming, "You better not look at me."
Exactly. That combo is so strong. There are actually some teams out there that will only draft Athena and Medusa together.
It's very powerful. There's no reason not to. Ullr going to be locked in. That's going to be going to Kabam. Last pick for Cognitive Gaming. They're looking for a mid laner for the best. Isis still available, but maybe not something that they're looking at to prioritize.
I want to see something different. I want to see something different.
Poseidon.
Best can play different choices. We will see the Isis. Always a strong choice. Never going to say no. And Isis combines very, very well with Bellona. I want to see something different just for entertainment value. But if I'm the coach of this team, Isis is the pick to go. Bellona and Isis, at the very core of it, Kevin, 2 big circles are good to fight in.
That's true. Final pick coming in for TSM versus Cognitive Gaming Game 2. And it's going to be Sobek going to that solo lane. Although we could see a solo lane Athena as well.
Sure.
Ionic very proficient in Sobek, one of the few supports
Ionic,
to run him.
Ionic loves Sobek. I mean, this was before, I want to say Geb, right? It seems so long ago. Well, because it is long ago. But before Geb really came out and deleted Sobek from everybody's god pool, that was Ionic's god. That was what Ionic made a name for years. But it is going to be what we expected. Divios playing that Sobek in the solo lane, which is actually interesting. We talked about Hades being undefeated. Lifetime stats, 5 for 5 Sobek in the solo lane.
Hey.
Divios has
If it ain't
2
broke,
undefeated gods.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, and that's exactly where TSM will go. Taking a look at both starts, itemization seems pretty standard. Ullr and Medusa are going to go ahead and mirror each other with the Transcendence 2 starts. Charged Morningstar making a very big,
Resurgence.
Exactly. That's the word I was looking for.
So this Sobek matchup into Bellona is very good. Anything that can basically negate Bludgeon, forcing Meerkat or Bellonas to have to level up Scourge instead of that Bludgeon, which clears waves very efficiently. And the idea there is when she starts the swing up, you tail whip, knocking her out of it.
Yeah. So Sobek definitely has a leg up in that regard. But the Scourge, not exactly a slouch. Good
no, it's still very strong wave clear. It's just not the ideal wave clear that most Bellonas aim for.
Because of the damage that you can also poke
Yes.
with the Bludgeon.
Yes.
You'll be able to clear and poke at the same time with Bludgeon. Scourge, pick one.
I mean, this Sobek also has the Sobek also has. I can't even think. Vanguard.
Mark of the Vanguard.
That's going to be -5 damage to anything he takes. A very strong thing for solo lane Sobek's best. Not going to be able to stun out the Boosh, but he does have lane control. No surprise here. It's Isis versus Agni. Isis controls all mid lane matchups.
And
every single one of them.
It's Isis versus pre-level 5 Agni.
Yes.
Agni here, I mean, Agni is largely the Magikarp Gyarados, right? He doesn't really do much before level 5, and then once the Meteors come online, watch out, he's a different god altogether.
Boosh taking a lot of poke from DJ rotating in here, and right now, this is what I expected to see. Actually, some fight going on in this dual lane. Ionic might look to poke out Kabam here, and Kabam, he recognizes that he's going to jump away, but he's already expended most of his mana pool, so his push is going to be rough, and that's the one thing about Ullr, is that his mana costs are very high.
They're very, very high. That's why we do see the Transcendence come online. But so, Ullr, not exactly a top pick right now.
It's a pick that some people are comfortable with. The big thing here is it has a lot of mobility against a Kali. So he doesn't want to have to... He wants the movement speed on the 2 as well as the leap away. So if Kali elects to aim for the ADC late game, he's not stuck on a character that can't get away.
He's got a stun. He's got a movement speed steroid. He's got a leap. Ullr does have a lot of get-out-of-jail-free cards to walk away from that Kali. So as you said, this time in the jungle, Kali won't be relegated to any particular lane. So Garsh will be all over the map. Now, do you expect to see the same build, or are we going to see a penetration build this time around?
Bomb taking a lot of damage here. Snoopy just barely
Beautiful
missing that
block
dash.
coming out from Aurora.
What do you mean?
So basically,
he's not going to build into crit first items.
Exactly. So the crit build that we saw, was that dictated by the position?
That was his Kali build. I'm not exactly sure the numbers on that one. I typically, if it comes to builds, especially in the duel, and I'm just like, crit. Well, let me know if this is good or not.
Well, good or bad is sort of besides the point. What I was getting at was Kali in different positions sort of have characters in different positions will have different identities, right? So Kali in the jungle.
You're going to see a typical hunter build. Oh, you're saying the Kali is the Kali build? Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like Medusa. I'm like, Medusa is not going to like second item crit. It's not going to happen.
No. So now that Kali's in the jungle, are we going to see the similar crit build as when she was relegated to the long lane?
We'll have to see. There's a big variety in Kali builds. I expect him to be building attack speed, especially because he'll be fighting DJ a lot, and likely Meerkat.
Sorry to cut you off, but that's exactly what you were talking about earlier. The Bludgeon going to be stopped by the Tail Whip anytime Divios wants.
Yeah, and can we actually hover over Meerkat real quick? We're likely to see that. Oh no, he is leveling up Bludgeon. So even though it's getting canceled out, still electing to level it up. And you can even see there getting poked out. DJ Perticus, though, he's likely to fall for first blood, getting stunned out. Big combination for TSM to find that one.
Little too excited to go ahead and grab those mid camps, I think. And Aurora going to be cut out by Snoopy. Dash already used, so... Not really changed, not really about the cripple. It's really about the damage. Here comes the ultimate out of Snoopy, and Kabam will fall. Aries going to pull out the ult. Somebody's getting pulled, and it's going to be Gars. Is it enough damage with the chains of the tower? No, but it's enough damage from the Flame Wave and the minions from Boosh. A roar will fall as well, so all of a sudden, tons of damage, 3 kills by Team SoloMid.
Yeah, Team SoloMid, they are not going to let what happened in Game 1 happen in Game 2.
No.
DJ rotating back over, trying to find the Boosh. The Boosh, his dash, I don't think it's up for now, but DJ Pernicus forced to back off of that. A little bit scared of the Agni's damage output.
A little bit. He just killed the support. Roar's going to fall to the Flame Wave, so DJ Pernicus is very, very scared of what could come out of the Boosh's hands, for sure.
Kabam and Aurora, they take a spill. That's real rough for Aries. Aries is a god that you want to see get rolling early, start big, and so far not able to find it. DJ going to be rotating over to the solo lane. I believe Divios was poked out, but he's going to back before that happens. Buffs being taken once again, speed buff and blue buff for the order side, and you can see Gars up there at the top of your right of your minimap taking his own speed.
Almost 5 minutes in. Very, very different story this time around. Best will catch Boosh, but Boosh has the dash. Last game, Cognitive Gaming started off with a boom. First blood on the solo lane. Almost 6 minutes in. This time around, Team SoloMid gets first blood and then a quick double kill to clean things up 3 minutes in. So much different pace, and it's a different direction this time around as well. TSM looking to split this series.
I'm a little bit worried about this Aries pick. When I was talking about the predictions on what I felt like was going to come next, I said, you know, Geb or Sylvanas, you know, these guys. But
a defensive.
Aurora goes. I feel like he picked for comfort more than anything.
Sure.
Maybe not comfort, but his play style. When the Geb or Sylvanas might have been better, and we see TSM recognize that, really putting on aggressive early stances, trying to shut him down, and now with one death, it's going to be really hard for him.
So expand on that. Why would you have rather seen the more defensive options than the offensive ones for Cognitive Gaming?
You like to get rolling early with Aurora, and I maybe it's just their play style hasn't been. They have been very defensive, right? You have a Serqet, you have an Isis, and you have an Aries. They've yet to invade or even set up for a gank on Team SoloMid. Their play style, or the team comp they drafted is very early, but it hasn't seemed like it's worked out that way. They haven't been positioning for it to be an early fight, but maybe it's a here.
Team SoloMid now on the back foot. Ultimate from the jungler onto Snoopy. That's a lot of damage. The best will clean up Gars, and DJ Pernicus's dot does take out Snoopy way off camera. So that's 2 kills for Cognitive Gaming, getting themselves on the scoreboard just a minute after Team SoloMid wrecked their team.
Gars unfortunately dying with his ult in hand, not able to pop it off before he took the burst from Best. But Best is his target now, someone he's going to be aiming to lock down in team fights, and someone who he can lock down in team fights pretty effectively. I mean, Isis, very hard to fight into Kali. She has no movement abilities outside of Wingust, which can be stunned out and then just get chased down. She's going to likely have to pick up a combat blink sometime early on.
And Kali's damage comes out of basic attacks and the lash, as we see Push get out of problems right there.
Forced to beats, though.
There is no real taunt. Gars?
He still has ult. No.
So what I was saying about Isis, she's got the benefit of the silence, but that doesn't do anything traditionally really against Kali. There's no Brutalize or Berserker's Barrage to really stop. It's all quick abilities.
Yeah, and it's just to slow her down more than anything, and allow her to try and get away. Fight over here in the solo lane. Meerkat being aggressive onto Divios, but Divios a little bit too tanky for him to deal with. You could already see him starting to build into that Breastplate of Valor. He's still got that Vanguard. And Sobek, he has heals in his kit. He's just a little bit too tanky to deal with. Meerkat, unlikely to find a kill unless DJ rotates in.
I mean, Sobek has heals in his kit as well as mana regen. It's very easy to forget. A lot of times you'll see, taking a look, Meerkat not going to make it to the tower.
This is going to be rough for him. With Gars rotating in, I really don't see Meerkat getting out of this one. The question is, who's it going to go to? And Gars sneakily kills that away from Divios.
Long-range lash. But what I was saying about Sobek, you'll see him go into the ult. You might ask yourself why, but it regens his mana so much so. Such an ideal solo lane pick.
Aurora being aggressive, put into combat so he's not going to be able to blink. And it looks like COG just trying to secure their own buffs.
Blue will drop Meerkat up in about 6 seconds, so he'll be able to make it. Buffs do last on the floor for 30 seconds. Takes about 20 to make it to lane. So as long as Meerkat isn't alt-tabbed, he'll be able to pick up that buff for himself.
I don't know,
no
man.
problem.
Look at him sit there. Oh, he's got teleport. Of course, he's a soul laner. Why would he not have teleport?
Pretty much.
Scumbag.
He'll be able to pick up that blue buff, no problem. So DJ Pernicus and Aurora and the best able to help out their soul laner just a little bit.
Outside of that gank, all the kills we've seen so far has been mid lane team fights. Best push up real far against Gars, though. He has no beats either. I mean, the best is gone. Gars finds his target. Aurora, he's trying to get turned on. Destruction is popped. Aurora likely to fall here. That wasn't his target. But Gars still picks up the double. DJ could fall here as well. The stun doesn't connect just off the mark. DJ is going to be able to walk out of this one. But the best being super aggressive with no vision on the map.
Gars did so much damage, though. I think that surprised Best. Just the raw amount of damage that Kali did at this early stage in the game. Just the boots and the Ikeval are enough for early Kali.
Ikeval is a very high damage item, very high damage swing on him. Meerkat, though, more pressure onto his lane. There's no way he's getting away from this one. Divios, no Gars to steal the kill. He secures it, but Meerkat continuing to be bullied. Basically, what we're seeing is every time Roman Invicta's used, Ionic ults over to that lane, allowing Divios to find a kill, or the team to find a kill.
2 Guardians, a solo lane, and a pizza place. The new sitcom from Team SoloMid. 7-3 read the kills, 10 minutes in, and Team SoloMid has a slight lead above their opponent, Cognitive Gaming, who, despite most people's picks in their season ticket, did take the first game in our 2-game set.
I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong on Justice vs. Titan, too. Hey, anything can happen. DJ going to blink in on the Gars. The Gars going to get stunned out. One more hit. Best finds the kill. He returns it. Gars this time a little bit too pushed up.
So quick, DJ in there, no problem. And understanding that destruction was still on cooldown. That's probably the hardest thing about ganking a Kali is being able to keep track of that ultimate. But DJ just got out of that mid lane fight where he was able to see that. Aurora is the Guardian that's going to make the rotation on the right-hand side this time, pressuring Divios. Meerkat is alive. Roma Invicta completely off the mark, but Divios still going to be able to get out.
Is Divios going to be able to get away? Oh, that's just unfortunate. Roman Invicta, that Eagles rally should have been secured.
Rough stuff. I mean, that's the beauty of Smite. That's why we're here.
If you want to beat TSM, you got to hit that.
Exactly.
If you want to beat TSM, if you want to beat Divios, you got to hit that. Meerkat not able to land it, but the game's still pretty even. Only a 500 gold lead coming out from TSM so far. Breastplate of Valor is finished on Divios, so he's going to have a much better time in this lane. Kali starting to work on crit after Ikeval. Toth being started up by the Boosh. Just needs one more tier of that, and it looks like the Soul Eater build from both the Hunters.
Since you're talking about builds, both Hunters go Soul Eater rather than the Aussie, but hold that thought, it ain't about items, it's about damage. Gars picks up the best, while Pernicus immediately trades that out. So both junglers take out both mid laners. That's a mirror.
They'll trade it for now. Best, though, still no beads online. Just picked up beads. That's twice now. And Gars recognized it, right? If the enemy mid laner has no mobility, not going to be picking up beads, I'm going to gank you for free. That's your own fault. Best, though, finally realizing he's going to need that active to stay alive. Picks that up. Divios, he's going to be trying to steal away from the blue buff from Meerkat. Meerkat recognizing it, though. It's low, and Eagles rally used just to try and secure his buff. Meerkat will be able to pick it up.
Dash away is Divios. Not going to be there, but here comes the rest of COG. Keep in mind, 2 members of Team SoloMid in tow. Meerkat, Aurora, ultimate in the air. Will get the pull onto Sobek, but here's the rest of Team SoloMid, and with Aurora's ultimate down, Cognitive will have to play this one careful.
Like you said, onto Sobek. That was a lot invested to try and pick up Divios.
Yep.
With TSM rotating in, they recognized they couldn't keep that fight up, but TSM still pushing under the jungle here. I think they were just trying to make sure that Meerkat couldn't pick up that buff, but he's able to sneak by and secure that one.
Damage coming out in the mid lane. Best all by himself with 3 members of Team SoloMid, but Best will find himself underneath the tower.
Beads forced, though. Beads won. He does have Aegis online as well, though, so Best grabbing 2 actives in that back. Meanwhile, pressure onto this tier 1 tower on right. Meerkat, without his ult, not going to be able to fin this. I mean, he could die also if he's not too careful.
He will die if he will be stuck. Ultimate not able to get out, and the damage coming out from lurking in the waters will be enough. Divios gets the 9th kill for his team, but meanwhile, textbook play by Cognitive Gaming. Heavy on the right, we'll take the left. Gold Fury goes down to the guys on Cognitive Gaming as they'll take a very modest lead.
TSM
500 gold?
Yeah, TSM not able to keep up that aggression. They look like they wanted to fight, but like you said, a great play. You saw the rotation over to the solo lane. You put your jungler in the solo lane, it's likely that the other team's going to put their entire team on Gold Fury. Smart play coming out from COG here. This game, it's back and forth. It's dead even.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the play in the solo lane, Pernicus trying to make things happen. I always compare it to a triple beam balance. You know, it gets really heavy on one side, so you got to even it out on the other with the enemy team, right? So you have three members of your opponent on the right hand side. Well, just take out the left because they're really light here. So Gold Fury just goes down as it should. Cognitive Gaming showing their fundamentals.
Cognitive Gaming grouped up on this right hand side. Divios trying to get aggressive, realizes all the presence there. You see him dash away real fast. Team SoloMid grouped up in the mid lane here, trying to take this tier 1 tower, recognizing that all of COG had backed. It's time to put some pressure elsewhere. But here's a blinket from Aurora. He's going to find 2.
Aurora's got 2. He's got 2 beads, no bodies. But Boosh chained out, not able to dash unless he uses his beads, which he elects to do. Ionic taking a little bit of damage. Now the subject of everyone's ire. He's going to be able to ult out, but Aurora says no. Everybody else does the damage. Aurora ultimately gets credit for the kill. Level 13 on that Ares. 1, 2, 4 /line.
Yeah, it looked real rough for Ares early on, especially dying that early in the game, about 2.5 to 3 minutes, but Aurora has recovered quite nicely, and the team as a whole, when they fight together, it's fantastic. That's when they make things work. Aurora hasn't been out of position, actually perfectly positioned every time he rotates. Great vision coming out from them. Meerkat, though, once again getting pressured by Gars.
Yeah, I think you had a lot of good things to say, Kevin, after last game about Meerkat. And I think Team SoloMid made the same observations, and because of that, they're trying to keep Meerkat out of all these engagements. I mean, like we said before, as Team SoloMid giving chase onto Pern, he'll be able to get help from his mid laner.
Great spirit ball. What I liked from that spirit ball was he didn't go on the target that was close to Pern. He went on Snoopy in the backline, stunning out the continued aggression because Ionic had already used all of his abilities.
Stunned out the damage dealer, not the setup guy. Perfect play.
DJ in his own jungle, though. Divios going to chase him down. When is ambush? Oh, Deathbane's going to be up. Divios, he's going to dive under tower trying to look for this one. I don't think he's fast enough, though. There's his dash. 1-3. Another 2 should be able to secure it. But DJ living for quite some time. That stun out perfect.
Yeah, Gars showed up to secure it. Aurora, ultimate up.
All of
will get the pull onto Aurora. Roma Invicta over the top will get some stuns, but Cognitive Gaming outnumbered. Not able to pull off the ultimate was DJ, so Gars still alive. Meanwhile, Best chasing out his direct lane opponent, Boosh, not able to make it to the fight. Cognitive will cease chase.
TSM having to back out of that one. COG also, great positioning by TSM, recognizing the rotations coming out from COG. Boosh almost got caught out like you saw there in the jungle. And so far, the Best has really been controlling the God, their names. The Boosh and the Best. Best doing a great job so far of controlling Boosh, not allowing him to out-rotate. Bukatov online for Boosh, though, starting to stack that up, and we actually see a CDR build coming out from the Best, grabbing a very early Chronos pendant.
I really like this. I think that Isis is one of the best options to go away from a straight burst damage. Having more silences available, which of course does more than silence. It slows, it strips protections. It's a fantastic ability. Circle of protection. Isis brings so much utility to a team. Gars in trouble. You know, ultimate is used, so is destruction. So keep a lookout to see how much aggression goes on to that Kali.
Aurora still being aggressive here, trying to find someone. DJ and Gars forced out of this fight, though. Gars, you can see him back in DJ. He's going to back now as well. Team SoloMid pretty deep into the jungle, though, but Best is rotating.
Nothing really going on here. Gold Fury not up just yet, so teams don't want to commit fully. I mean, it's the old adage of, you know, don't fight on the road, fight on the flag. Essentially, there's no flag here, but the Gold Fury is the objective that you want to get on the left side of the map. So with that being down, that sort of deters any real full-on commitment from these teams unless their hand is forced.
Divios Into the jungle again. Not going to hear DJ Pernicus doing his own buff for this one. And that's the thing, right, is that both of these teams have been deep into the opponent's jungle. They're just looking for someone to get out of position.
Exactly.
No Gold Fury has really been attempted outside of Cog sneaking one away. Kabam, he's going to get chased down here, but that's that movement speed we were talking about to help him get away. Aurora plucked into the team, but Meerkat, he's actually rotated over to this, and actually Aurora's going to find Snoopy in tow. DJ, he's going to rotate to this. Snoopy thrown back into the team fight. A lot of damage coming out from Divios, though the best coming in as well, and DJ does find the kill onto the Hunter.
Best thrown to the back of the fight, but here comes the rest. Best picks up the damage onto the Gars, who had no ultimate available because of the poke out before in the jungle. Cognitive winds up on top of that engagement. 2 kills for none. Ionic Taunt will miss, or rather, Kabam will jump over the top.
That was like lightning fast reactions on Kabam, because I thought he was taunted out.
So did I.
He instantly turned and jumped. I mean, there was no delay. Boosh, he's going to get chained out here. DJ Pernicus actually sneaking around the corner. I don't think they have vision on this. No, that ward's controlled by Cognitive Gaming. The Boosh, he's going to get taunted out, but a quick Athena ult to help him stay alive.
Ionic finds his way to the back with that ult. Pernicus making his way around. Level 17, comparatively speaking, to 16 and 14 on Boosh and Ionic respectively. Cognitive starting up the Gold Fury. Divios on the backside.
This is pretty risky.
And Ionic on the front side. Lurking in the waters is here. It might be able to finish it. No, but it does a lot of damage to DJ Pernicus, who's forced out. Kabam takes down the Alligator, and Team SoloMid successfully steals the Gold Fury off of the back of the bombs from the Boosh. Fantastic positioning coming out from Boosh, able to provide damage from a distance, and that will put Team SoloMid back in the lead. We've seen this go back and forth at least 3 times.
While Divios wasn't able to steal it himself, it put Cognitive Gaming in disarray. At first, you saw the team split up away from the Gold Fury simply because they were scared of the damage, but then they all grouped back up trying to kill Divios. While they were so focused on killing Divios, Boosh able to perfectly time his bombs over the wall and steal away that Gold Fury. Right now, TSM, they're still in the lead, but this game, it's dead close. DJ, very deep in the jungle right now, and you can see the Best also sitting here in mid lane. They're not going to recognize DJ coming over. Best, he's going to be forced to beats this, but still taking a lot of damage.
It's funny, he beads, but he continued going in the same direction. Aegis a little bit too soon. Boosh will suffer the damage from DJ Pernicus' ultimate, and Boosh will fall. Kabam jumps away. Gar's Blink is used, looking for more damage, but correctly makes the decision to turn around. Unbeknownst to him, Aurora was in the jungle, just lurking. Dashed in, Ionic, taunt, good. Stun onto Ionic. Pernicus, nowhere to go! Snoopy gets the kill, eking out the lead 11-10. Team SoloMid not pressing the brakes, looking at Aurora. Support from the Best. Spirit Ball will go ahead and stun the rest of Team SoloMid to prevent the otherwise horrible engagement for Cog.
Once again, though, Meerkat rotating over to that team fight. He's always, typically you see Divios as the first one to team fights, but so far it's been Meerkat making a big impact. Nothing to do there, though, as Divios split push. Kabam, he's going to be caught out in his own jungle. Beads not available for him, and Snoopy finds that. Perfect combination coming out from TSM, finding that pick. The Best left alone in mid lane.
Back Harpies cleared by the Spirit Ball. Gotta find the silver lining.
Gotta find the silver lining.
Best does get credit for a little bit of those Harpies. Snoopy.
In the mid lane, though, he's actually been jumped on here, but Gar's perfectly stunned out by the Best.
Best is level 19 right now. 3, 2, and 6 on this Isis, and full Spirit Row being picked up by Aurora as he makes his way back to the base just in one shot like that. So a lot of gold being held onto by the support.
And right now, that's a pretty big lead for Best, sitting above the entire enemy team outside of Divios.
Exactly. I mean, you saw the lack of damage that Gars was able to do to him. We're 23 minutes in as Snoopy takes down the left-hand tower. 10-12, read the kills, and what has been a largely back-and-forth game. Team SoloMid will solidify a 3,000 gold lead. Cognitive still or 2,500. Cognitive still very much in this one, but this is I think the largest lead of the game thus far, so Cognitive will have to pull out another team fight win.
I mean, 23 minutes in, 2,300 gold lead.
Largest lead of the
we
game.
see. Yeah, that's not a thing you see too much. Best here, he's gonna get caught out. He's gonna Aegis, but there's nowhere for him to go. I like that he didn't use his beads. He recognized that no one on his team was going to be able to help him out. He was going to be locked down. Maybe panic ageist, or at the very least was just looking to try and delay, but recognized that he was gone.
Yeah, I mean, we just mentioned how far ahead he is and how Gars didn't do much damage to him. Well, when 3 surround you, much different story. Snoopy takes the brunt of DJ Pernicus' damage, but Kabam unable to really follow up. So Snoopy's Medusa will be able to slither back into the jungle and stay alive for one more day.
Divios also teleported into our ward there, which I think Cognitive Gaming heard start to go off, so they didn't want to keep up that aggression. He's rotated to mid lane. He's done a fantastic job this game of controlling Meerkat. I mean, last time, right, Divios was winning his lane pretty handedly. This time as well, doing a good job of shutting down Meerkat and getting big, sitting at 2-1-2. And now it's unlikely that we see him over in that lane too much. Now it's going to be Sobek in a team fight, which is pretty devastating. There's a lot of control, there's a lot of lockdown, and a lot of... it just causes problems for the enemy team.
Well, Divios here on the side, 2 levels, Meerkat's senior trying to make things happen. Tail whip just a hair too late. Flip Meerkat into the good direction. But no more basic attacks out of Divios. Minions will block the way, so the alligator won't be able to keep on pressing.
Gotta be scared of those Sobek autos.
Hey, it builds up the sausages. The passive.
Gold's Fury spawning here soon, the best. Making sure that Snoopy cannot counter ward, although no sentry available for Snoopy. It looks like Hog wants to start this up.
Just going to start. They're totally willing to fight. As I said, the lead from Team SoloMid is there, but it's a fightable lead. The best already brought down to half HP, not able to heal back up. The Gars, always the aggressor. Damage coming out from Team SoloMid as they push forward. Roma Invicta will stun a few and give a great place to fight for Cognitive Gaming. Aurora gets credit for the kill on the Gars. Snoopy is low. He is lower as Pernicus puts him into the ground, but Boosh follows that up and takes out the solo lane. Boosh being targeted by 2 members of Cognitive Gaming. He's dead, and Divios is here, but maybe a little bit too late. DJ Pernicus gets taunted, but now there's 3 members of Cog and only 2 members of TSM.
Right now, it's the story of Divios is just way too tanky for Cog to deal with. There's the chain, slowing them both, crippling them both. Ionic taking a significant amount of poke. I mean, that's percentage damage.
Look how careful Pernicus is. Pernicus is staying out until he absolutely knows he can secure the kill. Because of the nature of Serqet's kit, she needs to be up close and personal. And if she gets that way, Kevin, Sobek could just tail whip, sickening strike, and murder her. So being very, very careful as DJ Pernicus, not wanting to go up against these Guardians unless absolutely necessary.
A big problem right now is that it's the best trying to zone, and you really can't zone as an Isis, especially against a Kali who is 100% looking to dive you every fight, and that's exactly what we saw there. Divios, he's going to try and stop this. I think Cog thought that Divios had back, but Divios actually caught in place. There's nowhere for him to go. Kabam finds that kill, but most of TSM has respawned. You can see them. They're looking to defend this, but only Gars is up close.
Pernicus gets taunted out. He's the one trying to zone this time around. Best understands his role here. Circle of Protection is available. Will be dropped onto the objective. Pop, pop. Should be enough. Medusa, too late. Cognitive Gaming gets the Gold Fury, but will they be able to escape? The movement of Kabam, the movement of DJ Pernicus is enough. Cognitive Gaming able to get out for the moment, but in comes Ionic. Pulled is no one. Snoopy gets kill on a DJ over the top. Stunned is Eagles Rally. Gars. He'll be safe, but he won't get a kill past what he's already gotten. Cognitive Gaming gets the Gold Fury and only trades out 1 to shorten the Team SoloMid lead to 1,000 gold or less.
Teleport coming in. Meerkat at low health, already back in the fight, able to take out Snoopy. They're going to be chasing down the Gars, but Dagar is going to be running away. That's going to be a tier 1 tower, though, coming out for Cog. And right now, Meerkat's disarm is a big, strong look against Dagars.
Cognitive Gaming right now. They get the Gold Fury. Divios is here, but he does have the Athena coming right on through the backpack. Meerkat just barely avoids the damage coming out from Defender of Olympus, but more importantly than the damage is the actual presence of the Athena, and that alone is enough to force Cognitive Gaming off of the tower.
So that massive, 2,300 gold lead we saw been reduced down to what looks like 200 gold, 300 gold. I mean, the experience lead in favor of Cognitive Gaming, but it doesn't matter because everyone's level 20 across the board outside of the Boosh and the supports.
I mean, folks, 28-minute tie game. That's what we've got here. There is no lead in either direction. 16 kills versus 15 means nothing. 300 gold above your opponent means nothing. Both of these teams, as I said, these standings are telling a very deceptive story. These teams seem to be very well matched. The story here for Cognitive Gaming, Kevin, has largely been about how good this team looks on paper, but not able to execute. Today, they're making a statement.
Look at this player damage, though. I mean, we do have most of TSM up top, but I mean, these are all very close. 12,000 to 17,000, only a 5,000 gold swing between 9 players. That's absurdly close. Snoopy gonna force to beats early because he needs to get away from Aurora's chains. That is unfortunate. On land, he would have connected that. I guarantee it.
That's the worst feeling in Smite.
On land, he was right on the edge there, not able to find it though.
Going up in the air as Ares holding nobody is largely the worst feeling in Smite. I think you can say that from a professional level to a novice level. Nobody likes that feeling at all.
Cog splitting the map. Gar's going deep. He's going to get stunned out very early. Forced to destruction before the fight even truly breaks out. DJ, he's so low, but he is going to be able to escape. And it's going to be last breath. DJ Perticus finds the pick. That's 2 games in a row that DJ is shutting down the opponent's Kali.
I mean, we've seen that so many times. And I want to chalk it up to character knowledge, but I think it's just burst damage coming out from the team. DJ Pernicus has been able to land last breath and walk away and have the dot do enough damage to kill the opponent, I mean, countless times. It's very fun to watch. This Serqet has definitely come out to play. And with that kill, one more time, we see a slight gold lead and Cognitive Gaming, now the leader.
Meerkat was able to take the tier 1 on right, while we saw Cog siege the tier 1 on left. You can see them grouping up for mid as well. Only 1 tier 1 remains, and it's fairly poked out. DJ, once again, lurking around that corner, and vision control all in favor of Cog right now.
Sieging down the mid lane is Cognitive Gaming. They've got 3 directly in the lane. DJ lurking in the jungle on the left-hand side, while
bomb's on left, though.
Makes himself in the lane. The entirety of Team SoloMid is in the mid lane, with Divios lurking in the jungle on the right-hand side. So everybody has members around and members lurking, but with that said, everybody disperses. Cold Fury's down, so no real objective to fight over here on the left-hand side. It's really about these mid-towers, I feel.
Yeah, and right now the warding battle is huge. You could even see that ward placed by Yannick get immediately countered out. Cog wants to make sure they have vision control. They're the aggressors right now. They do not want TSM to know where they are, especially DJ Pernicus. That's been the biggest thing for him, is you see him constantly lurking around the side jungles before the fight breaks out.
Gar's stunned onto the assassin. DJ's beat 1 Kali before. Can he beat the next? And he can! Not just Snoopy, but Gars as well. DJ takes out Kali one-on-one. No problem, says him, as another jungle versus jungle goes down. Cognitive Gaming now leading by about 2,000 gold. Even Meerkat versus Divios. Solo lane matchup now made their chance in the mid lane.
Meerkat going to take a little bit of damage from the tower, not too much, but with the numbers advantage, I want to see Cog push onto something, that whether it's the tier 1 tower in the mid lane or bait out Fire Giant fight. I want to see them do something. With Gars down for 30 seconds and this Gold Fury up, I think that's what they're looking at. They're going to counter ward. They're going to start it up. They have the Ice Assault, one of the best Gold Fury fighting abilities.
Ice Assault and Emerald are my 2 replacements for Hawk these days. There's really not much you can do when those are on the map. And Team SoloMid, I mean, I'm looking at 4 people not near the gold for
They
TSM.
know this is going on. They're giving it up without Gars.
Unconcerned at this point in the game?
I mean, gold is always important, and you could see Cognitive Gaming extend their gold lead to about 4,000, it looks like, but it's not worth going into a bad fight this late in the game, because if you lose a fight this late in the game, especially 4 versus 5, the opponent's getting Fire Giant, they're getting towers, and it starts snowballing out of control. It's not worth the risk trying to just get a little bit of gold.
If that was a Fire Giant, we would have definitely seen the commit from Team SoloMid, but for just the Gold Fury, not so much.
When the game's already this close, there's no need to take risks like that. Cog, they found the pick, and they deserve the Gold Fury for it. TSM, They're smart enough team. They're a veteran enough team to not fight into bad situations.
Now, once more, if we can take a look at the graphs, 33 minutes in, we'll see our largest lead of the game, almost at 4,000 gold, folks.
That's incredible. That is. There's been no team that swung past the 4,000 gold mark.
Look how tight this graph is, all the way up until that, 24 minutes, you want to say? Right by the E in gold difference. So close before a dip into the world of Team SoloMid, and then the comeback from Cognitive Gaming.
Ionic, though, going to find two. It's going to be Aurora and Meerkat blink in by Gars. This time, he's not looking to fight Serqet. He's ignoring her in the fight. DJ Pernicus, though, trying to find Snoopy.
Snoopy going to be okay with the shell, but all by himself is one member of Cognitive Gaming. The rest of Team SoloMid trying to do what they can. Aurora by himself, going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down to the hand of the guards.
I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Aurora was super deep in TSM's jungle, while Meerkat was just trying to keep DJ alive. And all of COG, they got a little bit caught out there in the jungle, but instead of just backing off, half of them wanted to fight, the other half wanted to run away.
Just a little bit.
Fire Giant now positioned in the favor of TSM. They don't want to just start it for free, though. They want to try and bait a fight, and there's Gars going deep. He's going to actually immediately blow up Pernicus. It's not going to be a 1v1 this time. It's going to be a 5v1, the best being chased down. And now they turn their sights to Meerkat. Heavenly Agility popped. They're going to make their way back to that Fire Giant. Two still dead for at least 25 seconds. Gars is going to find the best, though. The best. He had no vision, and that was Gars' target. Now only two players remain, and Gars, he doesn't even need to fight. He just needs to make sure they don't get into this Fire Giant pit. This is free for TSM.
That disengage was so important for Cognitive Gaming to pull off, and unfortunately one of the biggest threats to the Fire Giant, the best, will fall. Because of that, Team SoloMid able to pick up the Fire Giant. No problem. 35 minutes in, free Fire Giant.
All it takes is one little mistake this late into the game and such a tight contest for it to, spill out of control. It was Aurora getting picked in at the Fire Giant pit, first of all, and then the team splits up, not knowing exactly what to do. After that, then, TSM, they immediately jump on the targets they need, locking down Pernicus and then locking down the best, and that's going to allow them to start to snowball a pretty hefty gold lead. Well, Tier 1 and 2 taken.
Team SoloMid trying to do what they can with their gold lead, or with their Fire Giant buff now, looking at the towers. Tower on the right-hand side will fall. All that's left in this lane is a Phoenix.
TSM still respecting the damage output that COG has.
I mean, at this point, you gotta. Not only have they kept up with them throughout the whole game, but they won the last match.
They did. Golden hands, most players sitting at least 1,500. Final items being completed. Kali has her big items, including Oboe, finished. Agni working on Rada Tahuti, not enough gold to finish it off. Ionic finishing up Winged Blade. And Snoopy, he's looking for Deathbringer.
Deathbringer coming up a little bit soon. Man, right now it's pretty much just hurry up and wait as we see these players looking for what largely could be their next objective. With Fire Giant down, the Gold Fury this late in the game, hold that. That's the power of late game characters. The Gars.
Last breath isn't going to last long enough.
Nah. Destruction at this point in the game will be enough. He'll be able to get out no problem.
He also held his destruction, right? The ult from DJ came pretty early before it was enough to immediately force Gars to ult. He had enough of an HP pool that he could wait to pop destruction until he got a little bit lower, meaning it lasted just long enough. Taking a look here. TSM grouping up on the left-hand side. COG, they look like they want to fight this.
I mean, they've got 4 members underneath their tower with DJ Pernicus again lurking in the back. They're positioned like they want to fight. The first chain will miss. That's a lot of damage going to be lost from their Ares. Great stun onto Divios. Tanking the tower is the Alligator. He'll be put to half HP. Circular Protection is down. Stunned out is Snoopy. And Aurora's got a couple of people in his grips. That'll force out a lot of CC immunities. Meanwhile, DJ Pernicus being chased out in the jungle by the opposing jungler.
That's big. That's big. Most of the beads forced. You could take a look at TSM. Only one Aegis available for them. That's the only defensive active. They also have Heavenly Agility. But any CC coming out from the best should lock someone down. And Snoopy, there's their first target.
Aries coming right on in. Look at it. Snoopy, Medusa going to take the advantage and take out Best before he falls, if at all. DJ Pernicus also very, very low. Divio's half HP, forcing the fight underneath the tower. Cognitive Gaming now put in a defensive spot. Watching Aurora go down is Meerkat, DJ Pernicus, and Kabam, all of which will be forced back to the base before they try to pose a defensive maneuver on this Phoenix.
This Phoenix is free. I mean, like you said, they were forced to go to the fountain. Yannick being very aggressive, though. Gar's going to blink in, try and lock him down. Destruction popped very early, and actually we do see Kabam thrown in the team fight, and with the tail whip, he's actually knocked up long enough, not able to jump away, and TSM, they're not having any of it. They look like they're trying to end.
Only 2 members alive for Cognitive Gaming, trying to make the defensive spot, but unable to. DJ Pernicus does pick up Gars. Meerkat, the only one alive, and scratch that, no one is alive to make the defense onto the Titan. Cognitive Gaming in a very close game will fall. Game 2 of a 2-game set goes to TSM.
That was a very close set there. And you take a look at the kills and deaths. While Gars was leading in kills, he was also leading in deaths. The DJ Pernicus versus Degar show was actually very important every single time. Basically, if DJ was able to take out Degars, they won the fight. If he wasn't able to lock him down, it seemed to go in TSM's favor.
It's actually funny. We take a look at a lot of the times at role matchups, both like solo lane or hunter matchups. The jungle matchup generally doesn't fight head on.
Yeah.
This time, they definitely did.
Yeah, and it went both ways, but with TSM, I think just a little bit too much of a veteran team, able to lock down Cog in those important situations late game, especially at the Fire Giant. They just know how to, when they get to those late game positions, when they're even, TSM just know how to play.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They put on a clinic and really showed how to successfully team fight. Cognitive Gaming was looking for the picks, and a lot of times would wind up with the picks and then translate that into either force a team fight at the opponent's disadvantage or just going on for it. But they wind up on the bottom side of game number 2. And game number 1, player of the game will be Ionic. Fantastic performance. So many setups coming out from this Athena.
Yeah, he played fantastically, and 0, 1, and 20. I believe there was 24 kills on the side of TSM at the end of it. He was everywhere across the map. You saw him make plays in solo, mid, duo, and late game, finding the taunts that allowed TSM to take the Fire Giant and then snowball the lead from there. It's very hard to fight Team Solo Mid when they have a lead, and Ionic getting them there was vital.
Ionic has always really been a cornerstone of this team, and this game really no different. Just showing up both uninvited and invited, basically. A lot of times you'll see sort of just go for it. He'll taunt without his team really directly being there, and they'll either show up or they won't, but either way, he's going to disrupt what the enemy's thinking.
But still, Cognitive Gaming taking a game off of TSM is phenomenal for them, and you can really see 3 weeks in, they've started to grow, they've started to gel together, and instead of just seeing DJ Pernicus and the Best working together and Kabam and Aurora working together, they're working as a group.
Yeah, fantastic stuff to see it translate just from good stuff on paper to good stuff on the screen itself. And to talk to us a little bit about that, we're joined by jungler for Cognitive Gaming, DJ Pernicus. How you doing today, man?
I have just one question for you.
What's
Are
that?
you ready?
Am I ready?
And his name is John C.
What up, boy?
Oh, I thought you were just going to leave and cut it. I would have given you extra.
I wanted it to keep going. I'm not going to lie.
Well,
I was going to leave and cut it, but I thought you guys would get mad at me, so I'm sticking around.
Well, honestly, man, I mean, that's the biggest win I think you guys have had, and probably our best interview thus far. I mean, I don't want to ask you how you feeling, but is this sort of what you expected? You guys have had week 1 and week 2, and now week 3, we sort of really see you guys rolling.
Yeah, I get what you guys have to make stories and you're broadcasting and trying to make it exciting for everyone, but the reality is like we put together a team like basically 0 practice went into the first match.
Exactly.
So, I mean, everyone on the team is honestly like one of the better players in their specific role, so it's just a matter of breaking ranked habits, building team habits, and progressing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I think that's the storyline that we've really set up, and a lot of people have been waiting for this team to really come online, and you guys have shown that in week number 3. Did you guys plan specifically for Team Solo Mid here, or was it just practice what you practice and show the world what you know that you're capable of?
Smite's kind of hard because like there's not a lot of good teams to practice, so and there's a lot of like pairings, as you know, like scrim partners and stuff. So we just get the practice we can, but obviously, yeah, we definitely plan for every one of our opponents. We don't like take it lightly. It's not like we just log on and be like, let's go. It's like no, we have plans for everyone.
Of course.
Moving forward, you're going to have some more big opponents on the line. How do you feel going up? You were able to take a game off Team SoloMid. Do you feel confident in taking full sets off of like TSM, Cloud9, and AFK? Do you think that could happen? Or for now, are you just trying to take a game at a time?
Oh no, like honestly, like we're not happy we lost the game today. I think like everyone on this team knows that like we can and will be 2-0ing like top teams. It's like I said, it's just a matter of like getting experience together. So if we're not 2-0ing people, we're not satisfied, and we're confident that we can 2-0 anyone. It's just, you know, it's taken a little bit to get used to each other.
Fantastic. I love to hear how confident you guys are. Now, do you personally have anything to say to any of your fans, family, etc. out there?
I mean, no real shoutouts, but I think like just as a heads up to Smite game chat and everyone, like people need to realize this isn't an FPS game, and like one person can't just one shot 5 people and then like, wow, that guy's the best in the world. It's not like realistically there is no MVPs. Like this is all team play, like in Smite. So it's not fair to say like, oh, this player's bad, or through a game where this player played amazing, it was all him. Like that doesn't even make sense. It's all about teams. So keep that in mind.
Very much so. Thank you so much for the interview, DJ Pernicus, giving the message out there to people, trying to bring them a little bit of education. Fantastic performance by Cognitive Gaming and everybody else, but that's going to wrap it up for North America. Don't forget, we started today in Europe, so let's take a look at how those games interacted with the standings.
Sitting at the top, still undefeated, Epsilon Esports 6-0. Titan and Paradigm tied for second. Titan actually falling to Justice, who have moved up to 2-6. You do see Fnatic there still sitting at 1-3, unlikely to remain there. They're going to be having games tomorrow, looking to move up the leaderboards.
And it actually is, it is confirmed there is a solo lane swap for Team Justice. We won't be seeing Sausage anymore. Their new solo laner that subbed today will be their solo laner going forward. So fantastic. Congratulations to him and the win. North America, exciting stuff as well. Cognitive Gaming takes a game off of top team SoloMid, and that will shift the standings around just a little bit. AFK still undefeated 8-0 as they take down Elevate today, and Team SoloMid 6-2, as we said, with the game going to Cognitive.
The big one for me there is Enemy sitting at 6-2 and Denial at 1-5. I said that Denial was going to win this. I know Enemy had a chance. I just didn't think it would be a chance to 2-0. I thought maybe they could sneak a game off of them, and right now, Enemy's looking very strong. Denial clearly struggling, and I believe they even, I'm not exactly sure who the matchup is, but I think they're facing a top team later this or tomorrow as well.
Well, we'll be able to take a look right now. 3 days into a 4-day week. We'll bring up the schedule right here, and Sunday, August 30th is your matchups tomorrow. Team Dignitas versus Fnatic. Epsilon Esports take on London Conspiracy, and then traveling over to North America, Enemy will test their stuff against top team Cloud9, while Denial tries to take on Ullr.
Those North American matchups are going
fun
to be pretty contested. Denial versus Ullr. Denial definitely on the downswing. Ullr also, they're looking up with their new solo laner, Omega. And then Enemy, surprising everyone, going to be facing off against Cloud9. We'll see if they could truly take games off the top teams.
Always dropping your stuff, whether it's a pen or a Red Bull. Adonis, always the clumsy one. Anyway, that's going to be it for us today on the SPL. For myself, Hindu Man, Adonis, and everybody else back inside of production, especially Big Play Ray. That's going to be it. We'll catch you tomorrow. Make sure to tune in 1 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/SmiteGame.
I'm happy you didn't say
harmony, dissonance within your voice. When you smile, you burn down absent walls in your mind. Happiness is all I really need. Don't fear the darkness, it's your light that shines so brightly.
Can't hold you back from destiny. It's your time now. Set yourself free. Can't hold you back from destiny. It's your time now. Can't hold you back